It isn't just the Gen Ys and the millennials who use the web to maintain relationships. It's obviously the consumers that are looking to talk to it works both ways, from the professionals to the consumer back to the professional. I think online marketing today is less about broadcast messaging and more about the grassroots, where you move from stranger to friend to evangelist. And this takes time, and I think that's the whole lead curation message that you provided to us earlier. Very powerful. Agent ratings are coming. I don't know that they're coming in my market initially, but they are coming, and the question is whether or not it's us as an industry that decides to create these agent ratings, and does that provide the level of objectivity that we need to have, or is it going to be done by some outside source or sources? But as Tice pointed out, lots of comments, lots of collaborative discussion going on, people commenting about listings. I guess people are going to start commenting about agents as well. There are enormous challenges with that, but you know, I think it's a question of the horses out of the barn, and are we hanging around trying to figure out where to build the fences? I don't think that's where we need to spend our energy right now. The MLS is an eMarketing platform. I think we're going to see that continue to evolve. It's gone from word of mouth to sheets to books to online to dynamic information to the web. And it's not enough just to provide currency of information and be the electronic briefcase. We've got to show all the productivity improvements associated with it. I think you'll see markets, operators like me will move forward with providing stronger statistical information. That's all right. That's okay. Are going to provide us with stronger statistics. We're going to provide stronger statistical information. We're going to help you divine the information more so than you have been able to in the past. It's not enough to just harbor the information, to safeguard the information, to share the information, but we've got to do a much better job as practitioners of understanding all that it means. Imagine if you could take search criteria off of the MLS system or off the lockbox system or off showing time and map that to current market information or off market information. Imagine the upstream view that you would get to know that there's a heat map that says this is where buyers are looking at in your market or in your micro market. They're looking at homes in this price range, and they're looking for these type of amenities associated with it. But right now, brokers and agents can only look at their pending files to see what's going on for the next 3, 6, 9 months. If we can give you a more of an upstream look, we think that's going to be great. As Steve pointed out, cooperation and associated compensation comes with it. If cooperation and compensation go by the boards, I think MLS as we know it today will change dramatically if be here at all. For the brokerage that fails to influence the audience, I don't think the broker will survive. If corporate marketing for the broker is not superior to that which the agent already has, the agent won't have any use for it. And if corporate marketing doesn't have an agent-first mentality, I think that it will diminish quickly. Its value will diminish very quickly. Lastly, and I'll say this for those of us who use IDX, again, these are my, actually I didn't state this, but these are my comments and not necessarily those of my organization, and they certainly don't necessarily represent those of my directors, shareholders, or customers. But I don't think IDX is going to exist in 5 years. For those of us who think about syndication of listings, I just don't see it happening. I think syndicating listings for more buyer leads will be eclipsed by the larger aggregators or possibly the local aggregators, and strong listers then will have little incentive to have their properties appear on numbers of other brokers and agents' sites if all of the leads are coming from some of these national aggregation plays. So as you think about what you want to do with your data, with your content, with your listings, think about that in terms of the longer term impacts of it. Again, my opinion. Lastly, for those of us who know anything about RETS, RETS is in its current form, I don't think is going to survive. RETS is a transfer protocol used for transmitting data between systems. This standard does not dictate what an MLS collects, but rather provides a standardized method of identifying what data exists and the best way to transport it. I think RETS as we know it is DOA from now. It's been controlled by vendors and technologists for too long, and the business community hasn't had enough say in that, so I think there will be a new standard that will emerge that will go across industries and not just be held just to the real estate industry. The great news, and I'm wrapping up, the great news is that I don't think this is going to cost a lot of money. I don't think this is certainly going to cost you any more than you're paying today, and it's probably going to cost you a lot less going forward. So that's the good news. Systems are no longer going to be designed for the least common denominator. I say that carefully because of my organization. Almost 30% of members of my organization did not have a transaction side last year, which makes you wonder, what the heck are these great people doing? Well, I'll tell you what they are doing is they're paying their bills and they're not calling me. That allows me to innovate and and that allows me to do some of these other things. But I will tell you that there's still a lot of churn in the market. Steve and I were talking about this earlier, what his stick rate is in terms of new agents that are coming into his firm, and it's really pretty high. It's much higher than I thought, and it's all about the discussion that the broker has with the agent coming into the business, making sure that they've got the right resources, the right training, the right background, the right understanding, the right calibration, and the right expectations about what will and what won't happen. So thank you for your time. I am so pleased to be here, and I'm so pleased to see builders and realtors putting their heads together, because I absolutely agree with Al that there is such a common thread in all of this that we can do a heck of a lot more. I'm very excited about what's ahead of us. Thank you.